50 Cent says he gave the BMF family $5 million legal dollars, so he does not understand where the money went, how Lil Meech blew it before Big Meech got out of jail, but he feels extremely betrayed after that picture got taken between Big Meech and Rick Ross after he got out of jail.
Lil Meech didn't just turn on 50 Cent, he allegedly swiped $10 million and teamed up with 50's biggest rival to pull it off. After years of mentorship, financial support, and even covering his rehab bills, 50 got blindsided by a cold betrayal he never saw coming. And guess who's stirring the pot? Rick Ross. Private messages are leaking, and it looks like 50 might have to hit back hard. But let's rewind, because before the betrayal, it was 50 who put the bag in their hands.
I looked at it like, from that point, maybe 50 should have brung a bag for Meech, and maybe a watch or something. Because obviously that's what Ross did or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I had in mind.
When 50 Cent chose Demetrius Lil Meech Flannery Jr. to play his own father, the notorious Big Meech, in the hit Starz series BMF, it wasn't just a casting decision, it was a once-in-a-lifetime blessing. Lil Meech had no acting experience. He was just a young artist trying to break into the rap game in Hollywood.
But look, 50. Boy, I see you struggling making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was gonna be able to do it. You thought you was gonna be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so—
Man, they weren't even answering his calls, but 50 saw something no one else did. He believed in Meech's potential and sent him to acting school for 2 whole years, covering every penny out of his own pocket. He didn't just make him a TV star behind closed doors. 50 was wiring serious money to the family. According to him, he helped secure over $5 million in clean, legal cash, the kind of money that could actually build a future.
50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I buy your masters. You better shut up. I will buy your masters.
This wasn't just a TV role. 50 had a vision. He saw spin-offs, films, and multi-season deals. The BMF brand was set to bring in $30 to $50 million over time. For a family that once ran the streets, this was their chance to flip everything legit. Meanwhile, Big Meech sat behind bars, watching his son blow up and reclaim the family name, but this time, under the bright lights of primetime TV. And the man who made it all happen. Not a lawyer, not some industry friend, not even a rapper, a businessman. 50 Cent kept the BMF legacy alive, turned it into a global brand, and put the next generation in position to eat. But now, that same legacy is being dragged into the mess.
But look, 50. Boy, I see you struggling making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was gonna be able to do it. You thought you was gonna be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so long? I know you wanna make your mama one of them walking stars thing put down there. Your mama live, make her own walking star.
And 50 ain't taking that lightly. But that's not even the whole story, because he didn't just keep the BMF brand alive. He did it quietly. For years, he never bragged, never begged for credit, never flexed about dropping stacks on acting school or cutting checks for the family. He played it cool. Until now. Something shifted, and people are starting to ask, why is 50 so pressed about the money? The biggest theory: he wasn't just helping, he was invested, like seriously counting on this move to flip into something huge. Even Rick Ross sees it, and he's been taking shots. Then, in October, things got even messier. Big Meech, the architect behind one of the wildest drug empires in US history, finally walked free. Everyone expected a big reunion with 50. Maybe a press run, interviews, even a BMF docuseries co-signed by the man himself. It made sense, right? But what happened? Nobody saw it coming. Not even 50 Meech didn't show up with 50 Cent.
We call it renderings. You had the renderings, then you try to go get them loans, and ain't nobody loan you that money. You ain't even built the G in the studio yet. That might be why when I stood next to Meech, your knees buckled. Your knees buckled. Put your back against the wall. You're hustler.
Popped out with Rick Ross. And this wasn't just some random industry photo, nah. This was real bonding. Car shows, full-blown promotions, even a welcome home concert. Meech was out here posting flicks on Instagram, cheesing with Ross like they'd been tight forever. Meanwhile, not a single shout out to 50. No thank you. no love, no acknowledgement for anything 50 did to put his name in lights. Nothing. This wasn't just a backstep, it was straight up disrespect. And the way it happened, it looked planned, cold, deliberate, and aimed right at 50's pride. At first, 50 stayed quiet. But if you know how 50 moves, then you already know silence doesn't mean peace. It means he's loading up the ammo. But here's the wild part, where's the money? Because it sure ain't sitting pretty in the family's bank accounts. 50 claimed he helped them secure over $5 million in clean, legal money from the BMF's real, legit paper. Now, it's like it vanished into thin air. He even aired it out online, writing, "Why, old boy didn't look out for me after I sent him to acting school." 50 was clearly heated, and he didn't stop there. He came for Big Meech, too, saying, "Big Screech, all your people that was out did nothing for him. You come home thinking you the black Pablo Escobar and fed him up. I helped your family make over $5 million, legit dollars. It's not my fault, it's all gone. You shining so hard, you wearing the baby's jewelry. B, give the baby back his jewelry." Yeah, he really said that. And what made it worse? Big Meech was out here looking broke. Lil Meech too. Word is, the man's now doing promo videos for $500 a pop just to keep things moving. And you already know 50 couldn't resist clowning him. He jumped on IG, posting, "Big Screech got Meech doing promos, $500 a pop, get you one while it lasts." But 50 wasn't done cooking. Not even close. Just when you thought the disrespect had peaked, he pulled another card, a whole GoFundMe page. Yeah, a GoFundMe for who? Big Meech. Now, let's keep it real, there's a 90% chance 50 made it himself just to stir chaos. Because that's exactly his brand. But whoever created it, one thing's for sure, 50 posted it, and the internet went full meltdown. The GoFundMe claimed Meech needed help covering a $330,000 a month Airbnb, and 50. He added a messy caption. "Help Big Screech pay his $30,000 a month Airbnb, that's one of P's cribs. Shout out to quality control." And, still, he wasn't finished. 50 spun the block again, this time dragging 42 Doug into the mess. He posted that Doug allegedly gave Big Meech St. Dollaries, then roasted him too, saying, "Your daddy? My ninja, you made a mistake giving Screech $100,000. You could have given that to your ninjas. You always been hard-headed." Asterisk of course. 42 Doug clapped back on IG, but by that point, the damage was already done. 50 had asterisk lit the whole timeline on fire. Fans in Detroit were standing 10 toes down for Meech, saying, "Can't no one convince me to go against Detroit. Either show me Big Bro a rat or stop talking to me." Asterisk, but let's keep it real, how does a kingpin with a hit TV show tied to his name end up begging for rent money? Tony Yayo might have just spilled the tea. In an interview, he claimed that after Big Meech came home, he was out here asking Lil Baby for a handout. No cap. On top of that, he was even upset that his own son wasn't helping him financially. And speaking of Lil Meech, he definitely isn't making things look any better. According to Yayo, Meech is burning through money like it's cursed, dropping $100,000 Ankrum Hearts jeans, $500,000 on a flashy BMF chain, all while his pops is allegedly struggling just to keep a roof over his head. How does that even add up? He's flexing Richard Mille watches and designer denim, while his dad is out here scrambling for rent. And then get this, he catches an attitude when 50 unfollows him on IG. That's wild, that's giving broke with money vibes heavy. Yayo kept it blunt. Mord was, 50 wasn't even mad they spent the money. He was mad they wasted it. No plan, no investments, no savings, just flexing for the gram, with nothing solid behind it. But 50, he wasn't done yet. Just when you think he's clocked out from the drama, he pulls the most savage move of all. Word on the street is 50 bought the halfway house Big Meech is legally required to live in. Yeah, you read that right. The same man who once ran a street empire worth millions is now allegedly paying rent to 50 Cent. And of course, 50 being 50, he couldn't keep that low-key. In an interview, he cracked a grin and said, "Business is business." Cold move, classic 50. I'll put that man on toilet duty, cleaning up felon mess all day. That's what folks were joking online, because let's be real, Meech might be out of prison, but he sure ain't free. And fans, they're eating this drama up like it's the Super Bowl. One commenter wrote, 50 is a real savage. He always stands on business. Nothing but respect. Another added, this is the greatest burn I've ever seen. 50 makes my whole month with this kind of chaos. But not everyone's buying it. Some are calling cap on the whole thing, saying this is just another wild 50 stunt. One person even said, "This story is straight up fake. Ain't no way Meech is even in a halfway house." But let's not forget we're talking about 50 Cent. This man's entire brand is built on trolling, and with that kind of money and spite, he can pull off the most ridiculous plays just to prove a point. Meanwhile, Lil Meech made it very clear where his loyalty stands. He jumped on Instagram with a message straight from the heart. "Before I asked God for anything, I made sure I asked him to bring my father home to my family. My prayers were answered. I love you, Dad. Death before dishonor." That last line. That wasn't just love, that was a warning shot. He's done playing the middle. It's Team Meech Sr. all the way, no matter what. And just when things couldn't get more twisted, now it looks like they're milking the BMF brand with none other than Rick Ross, the same man who never lifted a finger to keep that name alive, when your enemy suddenly becomes your new best friend. Yeah, that's when it gets real personal. Ross wasted no time. As soon as Big Meech got out, he slid in smooth, started plotting a welcome home concert, got Meech to co-sign it, and began pushing promo like it was the second coming of BMF. But let's keep it real, this wasn't about no concert. Ross saw a chance to stir the pot. He threw Meech a little bag, played nice, and used him like a chess piece in a bigger game. There was no loyalty in that move, just strategy. Just spite. And 50. He saw through the whole thing, clear as day. Then we got Floyd Mayweather, someone else 50 does not mess with. Y'all remember that one wild video where 50 clowned Floyd's reading skills? Yeah, that beef runs deep. So when Lil Meech pulled up to Lucky Strike Miami with Floyd, Rick Ross, and a whole entourage, that hit 50 right in the gut. That wasn't just a link up, that was a statement. But it didn't stop there. Meech came through with an exclusive merch drop from his Red Letters X1 collab and personally gifted Floyd some pieces. Like, this wasn't just a hangout, this was marketing. This was brand building. This was Meech playing chess with 50's enemies. And then, out of nowhere, Big Meech pops in on the phone. He's out here chopping it up with Floyd and Rose, like they fam, laughing it up like the past 10 years of tension never even happened. Floyd wasn't done flexing either. He took Lil Meech car shopping. Then they hit up a jewelry spot, played some arcades, and ended the day courtside at a Lakers game in LA. Like the man rolled out a whole loyalty tour for Meech. Now, everybody knows 50 don't play when it comes to betrayal. And seeing Lil Meech vibing with two of his biggest enemies, that was personal. 50 fired back immediately. He posted a video of Meech and Ross, throwing shade like only he can. He joked, "You tell your pops, I'm a lookout. What's the address? I'm gonna send some wings over there." Classic 50. But as usual, he deleted it not long after. Still, the damage was done. But here's the part that stung the most. 50 didn't just put money into Lil Meech's career. He might have saved his life. According to 50, things were spiraling on set. Meech wasn't just blowing through cash. He was wilding out. 50 wrote, "I thought about it, ... I think he was uncomfortable with me and Mimi's relationship. I'm telling Mimi I don't want him doing that stuff. He's telling him he used to do it like it's cool. I tell Mimi, chill, stop spending all your money. He telling him how much money he blew. People don't know I had to send Mimi to rehab." Then, 50 dropped the bomb, claiming Lil Meech showed up to set high, and it wasn't subtle. According to him, even Russell Hornsby noticed something was off. That wasn't just drama, it was dangerous. Things got so bad that Meech started throwing up during a weapons test. Then Ian, someone from the crew, pulled 50 to the side and told him the kid had whippets in his truck. 50 was confused, what the hell is whippets? So he looked it up. Turns out, it's the same gas they use in toy guns, those little cartridges. Yeah, not a good look. To prove he wasn't just talking, 50 posted a clip of Gan Deal backing up his claims about Meech's behavior. He wanted folks to know this wasn't a made-up story. He said he sent Lil Meech to rehab, quietly, paid for everything, and kept the press out of it to protect him. He never exposed it. Not until now. But once that loyalty disappeared, 50 wasn't covering for nobody. The moment he realized the whole family had flipped on him, he snapped and went full beast mode. Back on Instagram, 50 let off another shot. And this time, he brought receipts. He posted a picture of Tammy Cowens, Big Meech's former business partner. Then 50 dropped a screenshot of a text convo with Tammy. He straight up asked her, "Did Meech know you were allegedly snitching while he was locked up?" Tammy hit him back with a simple, "Yep." 50 added a caption that read, "Tammy wins the truth, and nothing but the truth and coming soon." And just to twist the knife, he slapped that on a carousel of BMF stills. But every single one had Lil Meech face blurred out, scribbled out, like an ex you don't claim anymore. 50 literally erased the lead actor of his own show. If that ain't peak 50 Cent energy, what is? And just when it felt like things couldn't get messier, 50 leaked some now-deleted text messages from Lil Meech himself. In those texts, Meech Jr. was practically begging for forgiveness. He wrote, asterisk, "They just told me you unfollowed me off Instagram. Now you mad at me? I would take the shirt off my back for you. I can't believe this, man. You act as if I'm your enemy. I've only shown love and loyalty. I'm human. I go through my own stuff, but I never switched up on you." But by then, it was too late. 50 had already chosen war. Then came the wildest twist. Lil Meech threw his own dad under the bus. He jumped online and said, asterisk, "Ross gave my dad some bread, so he could pay his bills until our next season starts." That line right there, it blew the internet up. Fans were shook. Like, asterisk what? You just admitted Ross is cutting checks for your pops, and 50. He didn't let that one slide. He clapped back with the coldest response. Asterisk, what next season? That hit hard. Fans took it as a sign BMF asterisk might be cancelled, and so might Lil Meech's whole career. Because you can't build an empire with someone you can't trust. And Big Meech, he made his choice. He picked a side, and it wasn't 50's. But here's the question, making rounds, what if this wasn't just betrayal? What if Big Meech was the one sabotaging his own son from the jump? Sounds crazy until you really think about it. At first it looked like typical industry beef, 50 being petty, Ross being sneaky, Big Meech just trying to get his post-prison bag. But zoom out, and it feels deeper than that. This might not be about 50, or Ross, or even the BMF brand. This might be a quiet father-son war playing out in public. A dynasty in freefall. Some fans are convinced Big Meech acted out of jealousy, that old, unspoken tension, that twisted feeling where your kid's success feels like your own failure. Instead of feeling proud, you feel replaced, and you lash out. And when you act on that energy, you end up burning the same bridges your son still has to walk across. That's the real tragedy here. This had the potential to be a redemption arc, and father and son rebuilding the name, turning legacy into legend. But instead, it's starting to look like the collapse of an empire. A man came home and tried to outshine the son who carried his name through fire. And in the process, he dimmed both their futures. Now, with 50 pulling away, BMF is barely holding on. Stars hasn't confirmed a new season. And 50 already warned this might be the end. And Rick Ross, he can't touch a BMF film legally. 50 owns the rights. So whatever move they had planned might already be too late. But the biggest question still stands, did Lil Meech really snake 50 Cent for $10 million? Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and drop your thoughts below. This story ain't over yet. See you on the next one.